Hello and welcome to Elite Rounders Poker Channel. Today we are talking about how well Neymar Jr. plays poker. So, I did have a few hands on him on PokerStars ES website. So, I decided to go over all the hands I have showdown of his play or what he did. So, okay. I'm still a little bit bitter he left Barcelona to PSG, but hey, I can always take his money at the poker table. So, that's fine by me. So let's look at a little bit his hands, how he plays. I was actually kind of surprised. I was expecting more like very aggressive or somebody who's like very creative, like usual Brazilian players. But he was playing actually kind of solid yesterday. It was a final table bubble or very close to final table this 100 euro tournament. So he was playing fairly solid game actually. But yeah, I do have 7 hands here to go over. So let's get this started and let's see how it goes. So this is probably the final table bubble. I'm sorry the hands are a little bit weird order. So first hand under the gun opens, Neymar flats, cold calls from low jack. It goes 3-way on the flop. Again, in this position, probably shouldn't be flatting too many hands with this stack depth, especially in bound tournament, I guess. It goes check, check, check. The Brazilian friend bets here half pot roughly. Neymar calls, river is 4. Other Brazilian shoves all in. Neymar calls. This was kind of big pot at the time, so this was huge pot for Neymar. He did have pocket fives, so a little bit trickery here. Um, and the other Brazilian had kings, so I guess they were both trapping each other, which is pretty cool. So this is what happens when you have two Brazilians, like a lot of creativity going. So that is cool. I don't like the flat pre-flop, especially in bounded tournament. You really make yourself like open for exploitation if you're flatting as weak hands as pocket fives here. So this is something Neymar should not do. Also, he's up against very strong range here, opening under the gun as a short stack in bounded tournaments. So he should be pretty careful here. Although you say it's better because there's short stack here, it does make it a little bit better. But still, I think when there's these big stacks behind, you probably don't really want to flat here anything unless it's aces or kings or something like that, and you're just trapping all these big stacks to just make a mistake basically. So I do think the pre-flop flat is mistake. So this was the first hand, but I do like kind of like this mixing up post flop, kind of cool. He played it. He played it well. He wasn't too stressed on turn, even though there's flush draw, cut shot to the straight. So yeah, well played there. Nice slow play. So this hand is also from the Bounty tournament. The Brazilian guy again shoves. Neymar shoves. John calls. Big pot. Neymar has pocket eights. Very standard play. There's like nothing you can do. You just have to go with it. So nothing special there. Um, these hands were from early stages of tournaments, and he shows up with pretty weak hand here, Neymar. I'm Neymar Jr. is his nickname on the PokerStars ES or whatever, friends PokerStars FR. Um, so he jams actually King 8 offsuit, which is it's a pretty poor shove. Maybe he had something better to do, but yeah, this was pretty bad push, basically. Shouldn't be going like king 8 off, not even close. So this was like first real mistake, like a big mistake, I would say. This was second hand, which was a little bit questionable because, okay, on my heart, I did have this guy opening roughly 5% of the hands. So Neymar decides to go with king 10 off, which is again bit wide versus this position. So maybe there's a little bit lack of discipline in his poker game, and disrespect to the positions where they're opening, because even if this guy would be opening 20%, it's still not profitable jam. So he should really turn down the aggression versus like this early position. So something to think about. yeah, this was pretty interesting hand. He has king queen off here, and flop comes like jack 9 5. I do like the check back. He could also consider betting like huge. Maybe if he could make fold uh low jacks, ace king, ace queen, that would be pretty good result. If that happens, he's probably bet here like pot and just go with it. But he decides to check back, which is totally fine too. I don't mind that. And turn, um, this guy bets 2.5. Neymar calls. I think that's totally fine too. River is jack. Now it's kind of tricky river. Neymar does have queen of spades. Uh, it's kind of tough spot because like what are you getting value from here? Also the potential there's good possibility that the villain still has ace king, aces, some jacks, some flushes. So it's not really like what do you get value from, especially when you block queens too. And this guy is probably betting queens, so he probably doesn't have queens. He might have tens, which he might turn into a bluff. So it's a really tough spot to get any value. So I don't mind Neymar taking the king queen off here. I think it's totally fine. It's really nasty spot. The river is just terrible. Although he could say he was lucky because this is the river. He doesn't go broke against ace king. So actually, he was very lucky here that the river was jack of spades basically. So, but yeah, nice that he didn't value bet there. I think it would be too thin. Um, this was his last hand. Sorry, it wasn't last hand. This was like on final table bubble. He was one of the shortest stacks. So Neymar decided to gamble up here a little bit. We have John opening the button, easy Bobby, small blind three bets, and Neymar decides to call here with king queen off. It is a bit more marginal, you could say, but also he was like, I think at this point quite clearly like the last place. So I guess he's okay to gamble a bit more here. Probably not going to. ICM is probably not going to be a huge factor at this point when he's super short compared to everybody. Um, so I guess it's fine spot to gamble. And Easy Bobby could be still here, very polarized with a lot of trashy ace x hands, even maybe some king x hands, and in general probably fairly wide three betting range versus John here, who he's just trying to abuse on final table bubble and potentially just trying to kind of like abuse Jones, maybe potential wider opening range versus Neymar, who still had small bounties, so he can probably open decent amount. So probably wider than what he should ICM wise he's opening. So it's a very good spot for Bobby to three bet. So makes sense for Neymar to gamble here. He does double up here. And then his last hand, this is very unlucky. Bobby opens again. Neymar shoves ace queen off, and he gets a call. And Bobby folds. Sadly for Neymar, he's up against aces. Not much he can do there. So nothing he can really do there. So based on this, like to be honest, like all the hands, what were like the big mistakes were kind of like other tournaments or some early tournaments. I guess he didn't care about, but like later stages, he was playing pretty solid. It was very tough to win chips from him, for example. So yeah, I think it was interesting play against him. I think he could be a good player if he adds a little bit more discipline to his pre-flop shoving. It can be a little bit like erratic. Like we saw, sometimes he jams 16 big blinds with king eight off, and then like the final table bubble, he was shoving like nothing. For example, like he was shoving a few hands. I was playing kind of solid myself as well, so which was smart for the situation. But yeah, I think he could definitely like fix those couple like lack of disciplines, and he could be pretty good poker player. I think he could definitely win at some stakes. Uh, but it's tough to give any bigger idea from this because we didn't see more of his postal play, how he plays. But I think especially lower stakes poker, he could definitely be winner if he just plays more solid game pre-flop, and if he would care about the money, I guess. He's not gonna care about if he wins this 2,700 euro plus the bounties from this tournament. I don't think he cares. Um, So of course that's hard to fix. When you make too much money and play poker, it just doesn't feel much, huh? Especially when you play for too small amount of money. But yeah, it was fun to play with him, and yeah, I hope his poker journey keeps going. And yeah, I do hope Barcelona makes another remontada against PSG, which I doubt. But yeah, we'll see if he plays against Barcelona in the next game match. It would be interesting. But yeah, definitely was fun. And yep, I wish him all the good at the poker tables. And if you like this video, please like the channel and enjoy more videos.